that his item be taken out of order, RE 19.
Thank you for attempting to promote me. My name is Jeff Berkowitz. I'm the chairman of the Miami Children's Museum with offices at 2665 South Bayshore Drive, directly across the street. On May 24th, almost 5 months ago, we appeared before this commission, which passed an ordinance permitting electronic media on the Children's Museum. We heard you very loud and clear at that point in time. The museum has been I think, a faithful partner to the city. We recognize the fiscal needs of the city. We have worked out with the administration what we consider to be an equitable, if not generous, revenue sharing program, whatever revenues we are fortunate to generate as a result of this electronic signage. We have agreed to share a very generous percentage of that, of the gross, with the city of Miami. And so we are back here requesting that you approve that agreement so that we can get started, as the museum is in critical need of the funds that ultimately will be generated from the signage. We're available for questioning. Our counsel, Greenberg Traurig, is available for any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Berkowitz.
Thank you.
Mr. Torrey.
Good morning. Henry Torrey, Director of Public Facilities. RE 19 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a revenue-sharing agreement with the Miami Children's Museum, Inc., in conjunction with the installation of outdoor advertising signs at Miami Children's Museum, located on Watson Island at 980 MacArthur Causeway.
Thank you. Is there anyone from this commission that wants to make a motion or has any questions or comments?
I have some questions.
Yes.
Not really questions, just comments. But I don't know if are we opening, is this open to the public?
No, this is an RE item. It's a
Okay, I didn't think
resolution.
so.
I think there was a request by Ms. Bisno to make some comments on the record. We'll limit you to 2 minutes, Ms. Bisno, as you requested.
Should I make my comments after or before?
Whatever you prefer. If you want, we can make your comments before and then
I'll listen to what
go ahead,
Barbara
Ms.
has to
Bisno.
say first.
Give us your comments, please. 2 minutes.
Thank you, Commissioner Suarez, for allowing me to make some comments. And good morning to all the commissioners. It's been a while since I've seen you, and appreciate the opportunity to speak. Thank you, City Manager, for withdrawing the sign regulations. Sir, thank you. No comment. My comments are brief. I would request that you defer this item at the minimum or vote no, because for the following reasons, and you've got them in front of you, so I'll go fast. This only adds to the proliferation of LED signs throughout our community. They're illegal under the county code, and I think Peter has handed out the county attorney's opinion that you asked for, that Commissioner Sarnoff asked for at one point, which indicates that these are. We've received a city attorney's opinion that the Miami Exhibition and Sports Authority does not have to consent because they can make contracts with vendors. Of course, vendors that are within the general purview of the museum. This is obviously beyond that, and consent is required and has not been obtained. Of course, you know, the museum does whatever it wants. It has a charter school there that's never been consented to by the authority as well, and it takes up a lot of the museum property. All of these signs violate Article 6 of your zoning code, which was adopted in April 2012. There's not supposed to be any signs east of I-95. They're not supposed to be. Your own ordinance says that they're going to be mechanical signs, and the Article 6 says there's no mechanical devices allowed. Is that 2 minutes already? You got my comments. I hope that you will think about this and not do it.
You handed me something, I'm sure you handed the other commissioners, and it says there's an Exhibit B attached, and that is supposedly the opinion of the county attorney. I do not have Exhibit B, or I do not have a...
I handed in something that says there's an exhibit?
I assume Peter Ehrlich was with you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I'd put anything in mine that said there was an exhibit.
I just assumed what Peter handed was for you. Sorry.
That's okay. Well, he did, I don't know, I'm confused. Anyway, I thought Peter was giving you the letter that referencing the letter from the county attorney, which says this is illegal.
Yeah, I just want you to know what I received was an unsigned document starting on page 3 that
I don't have it.
seems disjointed. So
Is that what
he's
I
now,
turned
he's
in?
now provided me the full,
Oh, here's the county attorney opinion, isn't it? Oh, I see. He handed out a letter that I wrote that includes the reference to the county attorney. I thought we were giving you the county attorney's opinion, and my apologies. That's been made available to you several times, and I can do it again, the whole
oh, and
opinion.
I know as an attorney how important it is for you to give this commission what you say you're giving them.
Right. I thought we had an understanding of what I was giving, and I apologize. Thank you
That's okay.
for the clarification.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions?
Thank you, Ms. Bisno.
Thank you, Chairman.
Is there any comments, questions?
Sure, I'm sure, does anybody else have any questions or comments on this? Well, let me just mention, first of all, I want to thank, where's Alice and Henry? And the administration for, I know I was probably one of the thorns in the side on this issue, and for me, it was always about making sure that the city got more revenue. So I do want to acknowledge that we were able to make those things happen based upon what we talked about on the dais. I just want the public that's watching it, you know, based upon what we requested in the last meeting on this, can you at least put that on the record, the substantial changes or the changes that were made to accommodate more revenue coming into the city?
Sure. What we had originally discussed was a net amount.
I don't know why I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
Who are you?
I'm Henry Torrey again, Director of Public Facilities. The original deal included a net amount, which was exclusions for commissions, which I think were 16%. Here, what we were able to negotiate was a 20% of gross revenue, not net revenue,
Okay.
which is a big difference.
Okay, and I know I said between 20 and 25%, but I am comfortable with the fact that we were able to at least get to the 20%. Berkowitz, Mr. Berkowitz as well. I want to also thank you as well, for I know it was a rough start with us, or at least with me, I can't speak for anybody else, on the dais. And I know that you work with the city administration over and over and over again to try to come up with something that everybody could be happy with. So I think that we are generating how much more now?
We are anticipating to generate anywhere from $400,000 a year to $600,000 a year. What's included in the revenue sharing plan as an example is if it only reaches $2 million
Okay.
in receipts.
All right, and I think one of the issues, I know in our briefings on concern we had, was this whole issue of MISA being in this agreement, so we're taking that out. You were going to put that on the record?
Yes.
Correct.
We are,
Deleting the MISA?
yes, MISA is no longer required or is not required to be a party of this agreement, so they are being removed.
Right.
Okay.
Actually, that was a Scribner's error. Inadvertently, there was reference made to MISA in the revenue sharing agreement.
That was part of Barbara's comment today.
Right, so we
I
need
don't
to delete reference to MISA from the revenue sharing agreement.
So those are my issues. I just wanted to make sure the city got a little bit more money out of it.
Congrats.
And I wanted to make sure that MISA was not becoming a conduit in any kind of way. And from that point, I'm fine with where we are now.
Thank you. Is there a motion or?
So moved.
Second. Moved by the Vice Chair, second by Commissioner Commissioner Gord. Commissioner Crowe, you're recognized.
Oh.
Yeah, you're recognized. sir.
I thought you said Commissioner Gordon. Thank
No,
you.
no, no.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I just want to clarify, this resolution is approving or disapproving of the revenue sharing. It is not approving the sign.
Correct.
That was done, that was already done in the last meeting. So this is just approving the revenue sharing.
Correct.
Okay, I want to make clarity on that. And the second thing, and I guess it's more of a comment, you know, I think at the last commission meeting, or at the commission meeting where we heard regarding the signage there at the Miami Children's Museum, We had a lengthy conversation with regards to the revenue sharing. I think it was, stated that we wanted more revenues for the city, and taking on nothing away from the Miami Children's Museum. I know it's a great organization and you do a lot of good work. And in all fairness, I think that's what the administration has done. Even though I think I would have maybe negotiated a little bit more aggressive, and instead of saying that generous, I would say reasonable. The bottom line is, I appreciate, Mr. Berkowitz, that you saw that there was an interest by this commission to obtain more revenue, and, I'm sure it was a healthy and spiritual or spirited
I'm
negotiation.
sure it's spiritual.
Spiritual too.
Use the right word.
You think so?
We'll take
I was going to say spirited,
I think
but,
spiritual works.
but I appreciate.
I was 6'7" when I started these negotiations.
But the bottom line is that I think everyone, at least had reached a compromise that, like I said, I wouldn't say generous, but I would say reasonable. So, I will be supporting this, although, again, I would have been a little bit more aggressive, and I would have liked to see the city actually receive more revenues. Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I just want to make a comment because, oftentimes when people hand us documents and they're not complete documents, I'm often curious, why isn't the complete document handed to us? And if you remember at the last time we discussed this, I brought up the American Airlines Arena, and I brought up the fact that the American Airlines Arena is a county facility, everyone knows that, and that is probably, in my opinion, it's the most visible spot in all the city of Miami. And as we all know, they have a electronic sign which sells things that do not exist within the American Airlines Arena. And then I'm handed the county attorney's opinion, and I'm handed the full opinion. And I'm reading it, and look, lawyers take different positions. You'll probably hear me today take a different position than our city attorney today, because that's who we are as people. We think we interpret things. But lawyers are entitled to come up with their own conclusions. They're simply not allowed to have their own facts. So the county attorney opines that it's not appropriate to have this electronic sign at the American Airlines Arena, and then turns around and, I guess, reprimands the city of Miami for permitting it. Well, we don't permit the electronic sign at the American Airlines Arena, and the county attorney is not entitled to her own or his own facts. They permitted the sign at the American Airlines Arena. So their entire argument and their entire position on this particular aspect of the county sign ordinance is factually incorrect. And that's why I thought it was important that we look at the entire opinion, which I think is wrong and erroneous, but, Julie Brew can say it's wrong or erroneous. It doesn't matter. Lawyers, all that matters is what the judge says. And then after that, all that matters is what the appellate court says. But I thought it was worth bringing this up, Mr. Chair. I know you don't want to move this meeting along, but if you just read the full aspect of the April 23rd, 2012 letter, which attaches the April 17th, 2012 memorandum to the Commissioner Barbara Jordan, and if you just simply then read that they say the city has permitted the city has permitted the signage on the American Airlines Arena. Well, as you would say, that's a fact, that's not a conclusion. It's either a fact we did or we did not. And then she goes on to say the county should take the appropriate action to take down this sign. Well, of course they're not taking that action because they want that sign. So it is really ingenuine and really deceptive to come up with the county attorney's opinion when, one, it is factually wrong, and two, a commission larger than ours and a mayor who is a strong mayor can take whatever action he chooses to at any time, to take any action they choose to take at any time. And they, in their own good faith, I suspect, beliefs, have determined that that is a legal sign. So just to the folks who brought this to us, please give us full documents from now on. And number two, understand that simply because a lawyer says something isn't true doesn't make it the law and doesn't make it the way it is. The commission makes the law, and then, of course, it's subject to challenge in court. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. And I just wanted to be fair and allow the other side to make its presentation, on the item. And it is a resolution that doesn't require a public hearing, but I wanted to, give them some time to state their concerns on the record for our consideration. So it's been moved and seconded. And I also want to thank Mr. Berkowitz and, his negotiating abilities and his generosity and the Children's Museum's partnership with the city, so that it is a significant amount of money for the city of Miami, and it's something that we will, I promise you, put it to good use. So, and it's very needed, by the way. So it's been moved and seconded, and all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Passes unanimously.